Don't stop.
How are you today? I am doing super great. I am so excited to be back because, my joy is back, and I know it's been a bit of a bumpy ride. I fell into it accidentally, and I was like, oh, this is a thing? Because, if you're only ever hit, the level of, highest spirituality within the lowest band, which is the ego, right? And the mind and consciousness, and have never made that jump to the next level of heart-based consciousness, you don't really know that it's a place and that it's a thing that you can inhabit. It's a thing that lights you up and changes your world and your interaction with everything around you. It is the most incredible thing. And again, this is the problem with me just sitting back and going, okay, I understand the concepts, but I haven't really done the work. And now that I'm actually doing the work, it is just, I can't get over it. How, when you get to that place of 1,000% trust in the universe, right? And that last video really walked you through it, and I hope that you got it, right? And we'll be, carving out that path as much as we possibly can in here, right? Because I want all of you to get to this place, this incredible place where you just resonate with love and joy. Because when you get to this place, there is no negative. There is no complaint. You don't even have access to that stuff. And it's not that you don't find yourself in a position to make another choice, or that something happens that it's oh, I need to make an adjustment here. But the difference is there's no complaint. There's nothing wrong, right? In your entire universe. Can you imagine walking through and never seeing anything out there as wrong? Everything out there is happening as it should be. And if there is something that I'm perceiving as wrong, that's a me thing, right? That's a red flag. And I have to go and excavate that and understand why it's living in me and triggering me as a negative thing. And if it is a negative thing, have I prescribed a use for it, right? Because it's getting to that point of understanding that nothing in our lives is in fact negative. Nothing. And it really is hard to describe. But to get to a level of trust with the universe where somebody could come up and do something horrific and you still know and still inhabit that whatever that horrific thing that just happened, that even in that is conspiring for your success in order to get you to, right, the higher level of consciousness that we're all heading towards. The first level was joy. Check. Again, I didn't know that it was going to be a real thing. I thought I was still going to be grumpy and unimpressed and, continually, just being who I've been my entire life, right? But I didn't know that there was a way to inhabit yourself completely anew. And that's the game changer. It's still so shocking to me that this is an actual thing. And I kind of stumbled into it, then took a few days off where I couldn't quite get back to it, I am so blessed for that. Why? Because it's forced me to get a little bit more critical in my thinking in terms of how did I actually get there? Right? And to start talking about the path there. Because I very much discovered it by accident. Well, I say that, but that's not entirely true. What is true is that I found it that I was seeking for, which was joy. How actively was I seeking out joy? Very much so, right? And I was really going for it and trying to unearth it, but I didn't understand, fully, truly, what I had put on my plate and what I was searching for. Until I got there and I'm like, oh, oh, it's this. Because nobody's ever described it to me in a way that made sense to me like that before. I no longer resonate with any complaint. None. And that doesn't mean that stuff won't come up, or negative stuff won't come up, or I won't get triggered, or whatever. But I have a direct path out of that, right? Inhabiting complaint, the mind that lives with complaint, the mind that is filtered through the ego, which is complaint, right, is gone. It's gone. And so it's now like, do I want to like go back there to the world of complaint? Oh no, I do not. I do not. Right? I feel so lit up, fulfilled, and it's all in understanding that, no, really, like all the horrible stuff, everything in the basement, and if you haven't been watching these videos from the beginning, there's a lot there. There is a lot there that I unearthed in here quite publicly, right? To sort through, filter through, and to understand whether it is currently serving me or not. I did that. I did that for me. I am so proud of myself right now that I have actually accomplished this big thing for myself. And I want that for you. I want you to do the work. I want you to feel like you are worthy of this, right? Because you can live a life with no fear. Fear is optional. I can't believe that I've gotten to this place, but it's so true. Like nothing, I feel like nothing can happen to me that isn't conspiring for my highest and best. I really feel that way. And I see now in this place how everything that was horrible, right? That everything that's in the basement that we had to close the door on and lock tightly and walk away from, right? All that stuff, that what was required for my soul to get to this place in my life. And guess what? It is all worth it. It is all worth it. I am so lucky that I had the opportunity to be taken to, right, the depths of my being. Now, a lot of that is like being taken to the depths of your being as a personal hell, right? That's how it feels. That's how it feels on the other side, right? Because it is very dense and very traumatic and, just fraught with the stuff that is required. And I'm so blessed. Oh my God. I am so blessed for everything that has ever happened to me for bringing me to this place. Without those things, I don't know that I would have gotten here, right? And it just makes it all worthwhile. Like suddenly you're like, oh, I get it. Right? And it also really places people in your life who maybe have been abusive as angels. As the ones who came into your life, right? To take you to the depths of your soul. Right? And like we've been talking about from the beginning, there's value there. There's learning there. There's stuff down in there that you're not going to get delivered to you in any other way. So we can embrace that. And yeah, it's a little bit of like holding your nose and diving in and just, again, trusting. I didn't realize how powerful that trust was. I am so blessed. Right? For all of it. And I know that sounds super cheesy and I hate it when people do that, but it's true for me. That's what's true for me now. And, again, I'm never going back to the world of complaint. One of the biggest surprises for me that I found that was a necessary key to unlock the door to joy. Right? And again, the path to Christ consciousness, that video, I hope that you got all the steps that I was talking through, right, in order to get there. But the one step that I wasn't expecting that clearly was needed is honor, right? Honor of self. And it's in finding that, it's like the next layer of thinking that you're worthy of being the hero of your own story. The next layer beyond that is self-honor. I didn't know anything about that until I started studying shamanism, right? Until I started studying the faith practices of the early people who have lived on this land, who know this energy that I'm running with, right? And it's through that and the discovering of that, oh my gosh, it was such a needed key for me, because especially with my past, right? With my past, self-honor has not been something that I was taught or inhabited or really understood, right? But it's in the casting yourself as the hero of your story and getting intimately familiar with who you are, right? It's that double-edged sword of being, centered in self and self-centered, right? It's finding the spiritual part of that and taking the entire world, right, and resonating within, not without, right? Because there's nothing out there for you. It's all in here. It's all in here. It's to inform you in here. And so when we change our perspective from living out there and going, what's that? What's that? To seeing the world and experiencing it like, what's that? What's that thought? What's that? What's that on my heart? And going through everything, all the red flags, everything that comes up, every single piece of pain, right? And unearthing it and understanding why that is happening for your highest and best, right? Because where we're going, this is like it's just pure magic to me, right? The fact that I actually got here and changed the way I inhabit myself is like blowing my mind. And now that I know, this is a real thing, now that I know that, honey, I am just getting started, right? What was the first question that I asked when I got to this place, to this level of higher consciousness, which is to inhabit my heart center rather than my mind, to go from thinking to being. You know you are here when thoughts disappear, when thoughts become boring, when thoughts are not your default setting within yourself. When you abandon all that and you just move into being, oh my gosh, it's like all those monks and everything. Like, I never understood how they could just sit and meditate for like hours and hours and hours a day, but I get it now, right? Because that's all you want to do when you get to this place. Oh my gosh, it's so magical. Because again, like, my experience of my environment and my immediate surroundings has changed, right? I'm now much more dialed into what I'm feeling and experiencing, even in my surroundings, right? And so you start to, again, exchange with what is, right? And all around you, and nothing is off, and everything is as it should be, right? And when you open up to that level of heart consciousness, right, and you start to experience life from that lens, and that's a choice, right? You will never want to go back. It's so addicting, and I'm just in awe of the fact that probably for the first time in my life, I am fulfilled and satisfied. I need for nothing. There is no fear. It's a total game changer. And again, it's like, I'm trying not to freak out. Right? But these are the things that we're studying in here, right? And discovering and unearthing. And every time I do this work, I find the next thing, right? The self-honor piece, and how important that was, and how there is 2 layers to self-honor, and discovering the second layer was everything to getting me to this place, right? It was in the first layer of self-honor that we go within. That was the first one. But it's the second layer of self-honor that I discovered in the last one, where that self-honor is the portal or gateway to an expression and communication with your higher power in the universe, right? When that opens up and you recognize that you are honoring what is, right? And honoring creation by, as an extension of honoring yourself, when you find that place, oh my gosh, like that just really opens you up even more to that exchange and expression, right? And so then everything, it's just, It's so amazing. So it's like you get to this place and all you want to do is that. Right? Like, I'm a little concerned for my left brain activities such as paying bills and like getting to the grocery store, because all I want to do is this. All I want to do is resonate and exchange with what is. And I could do this all day long, and it would be so fulfilling. It would fill me up in every single way. And it's like, that's all I want to do is just connect with what is and just be here. Because you go from consciousness to being. And once you stop thinking and start being, you won't ever want to go back. I don't know how to say it any other way, right? But what I am getting clear on is this process for others and helping other people get here, right, is a new huge part of what I need to be doing moving forward. I also know that I only need to move that big boulder of, higher level of consciousness for us as, a people. I only need to push that boulder so far. That's the good news. That is the really good news. Because once you get that boulder just another foot or two up that hill, and people suddenly start to get a taste of what it feels like to inhabit yourself this way, trust me, they will be running for it. They will be running for it because it feels so good. It just feels so good to inhabit yourself in this way, right? So the Christ consciousness, do you know, I hope So let me just clarify. Like, in no way, am I comparing myself to that. I'm just saying we're on the path to what we have seen modeled here on Earth by several other very, advanced humans, right? Such as Jesus Christ. If you can, resonate with that. Now, as you know, I have big issues with faith-based communities and religion, right? That doesn't mean that there isn't some learning and purpose there, right? It doesn't mean that I can't study what they are proclaiming that this person did here on Earth, right? And that doesn't mean that there isn't a term called Christ consciousness. I don't fully understand what that means. I don't get it. I have no idea where Christ was on Earth and to what level he got to. But what I can tell you is that, so far as I know, so far as what makes sense to me and what I have studied, there are 7 levels of consciousness. I'm now on level 2, right? Heart consciousness. We went from just the mind to the heart, right? But honey, there's 5 more levels after that. And like I said, we're just getting started. Because now that I'm much more clear on how this whole thing works, it's go time. And so I don't know where Christ was. I believe he was a person that walked the earth. I believe that he had special abilities. I believe that he was, right, the child of God. But no more so or less so than me or you, right? Is that going to be an argument that I'm less of a child of God than Jesus Christ? Is that an argument we're going to be willing to make? I don't think so. Because we're all the same in those lines, right? In that understanding. And so I don't know where Jesus Christ was and his path and his experience, right? But that doesn't mean we can't learn from it and, use it as a path, right, to move forward. What was he doing? What was he experiencing, right? I'm super curious about all this. So that's what we're going to be doing, because ultimately the goal, right? The goal is to see how far we can take this. I don't know what that looks like. I really don't. But I know it's going to be an interesting journey. It's like I told my husband when I was asking him to marry me. I was like, babe, I don't know that it's going to make any sense, but I can promise you that it'll be fun. And that's how we get there. That's the good news, right? We are going to pride parade and love bus ourselves into the future, right? And we will be the Pied Pipers of joy and everything good. And that's how we win. That's how we take down the NRA. That's how we take down everything that functions from bigotry, right? And hate. Because once I got to this level, what was my first question? My first question when I got to this level is there another level? That was my first question. Is there another level? And I came back like, yep. I'm like, okay, I expected as much, right? And so I remember we were down in, consciousness and thinking with the landscape of our understanding, trying to figure, right, and manage thoughts on how that all is going to work in order to get us to joy. Well, we got to joy, and then, my first question was, is there another level? Yes. What is that another level? And what is the destination and goal of that level? The answer was love. So, if the first level is joy, which is found through 1,000% trust in what is, and then you get to this place and you're like, oh, what's the next goal? The next goal is love, right? Because what I discovered, and again, it's always in the unpacking of what is that the new thing arrives, right? And it was in the unpacking and getting to this point that the new thing arrived, and the new thing that arrived was, what was the last thing I said in the last video? True love. True love. I didn't understand what that meant until I understood what it meant that the universe is truly conspiring for our success. And once you dial in, once you dial into that energy, right, and you feel the evolution of what is, you feel the evolution of how how Creator has brought us all up through the eons and the generations to land in this place. Oh my gosh. Once you understand, right, it's not just a connection, it's a two-way street, right, that you start interacting and radiating with. Right? Once you get to that place, and then we understand that, no, really, everything, every crappy thing that's ever happened to you has been on purpose and for a reason to get you to this place. And it's not until you understand that, no, really, it's all for you. It's all for your benefit. And in that energy, that's true love. That's the definition of true love. And look at how it has conspired to bring us to this place. Look at how my life has conspired to bring me to this moment. I wouldn't change it for anything. I wouldn't change it for anything if this is in fact the goal, right? If joy was in fact the goal, and that was always my North Star, I would have given anything to arrive here. Well, guess what? I'm here. Hooray! Right? And so I'm just, even for my trauma and my horrible, abusive, past, I am blessed. Truly, truly blessed, right? So where are we going? Where are we going? We are going to pride parade the heck out of this thing, because if we know if the next level is love, 100% love, right? And that the team, right? Living on an earth-based, ego planet, right? The team that is going to win, the team that will win in getting us to love will be the team that only owns that, right? And so if love is defined as the absence of judgment, right? The group that will take us there will be the group that will be radiating with nothing but non-judgment, right? And the other team that is radiating with judgment will never be as attractive to their fellow humans. So we just have to work on that. We don't have to worry about anything else, right? Because if we get there and we get to a place of non-judgment and we are the Pied Pipers of the Pride Parade, right? And bringing everyone along to that place where everybody is welcome and everybody feels seen and everybody feels whole, right? If we get to that place, we win, right? The planet wins. Everybody wins, because at the end of the day, that's what we are truly looking for, is it not? Is it not? That sense of belonging and community, right? The being supportive and knowing that we can have this good human agreement that says, even if I don't understand you, I can lift you up so long as you're not participating in the marginalization of your fellow humans. right? So that's where we are today. I just want to thank you so much. I continue to just be so blessed by this work. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. And I just wanted to thank you, especially like the regulars. I know who you guys are. I see your comments and I really appreciate it because you give me life, right? You give me life by supporting me and helping me to find purpose in this, right? So thank you so much. That's where we are today, and I will see you on Wednesday. Bye.